I'm Ann Kroeker.
And I'm Singleton Craig.
And together we are Kroeker and Craig, co-authors of the book On Being a Writer.
Today we've made it to chapter 12, and we are going to be discussing the idea of limit. The limits of our writing life and the limits we place on our lives so that we can write. In fact, that distinction is kind of covered in both of our stories in chapter 12. Sometimes the writing life itself puts limits on us. Sometimes we have to limit the rest of our lives in order to be able to write. This chapter, as Ann and I were discussing earlier, kind of brings full circle back to our identity as writers and the way that we surround ourselves in order to be able to write. Some of those identities and the things that we surround ourselves with actually fill up our lives so that we no longer can write. And we have to determine, and it's different at different stages in life, but we have to determine what we need to back away from in order to continue to live the writing life. So today I wanted to ask Ann, to sort of our last discussion question together on these videos, but ask you, how do you live within the limits of your own writing life?
It's not easy, and it changes from year to year, season of life to season of life. And early on, when I was trying to decide whether or not to really pursue a freelance writing career, I was torn because I had a strong interest in photography. And I really was exploring that, and I knew that if I invested in it, whether I invested in the equipment and the time for lessons and the kinds of things it would require to do that, I would not have time to do the kind of writing it would take to become the level of writer I needed to be able to be a corporate writer or a successful freelancer. And so I had to choose. And so I did that. I decided to abandon photography as anything other than a hobby, and I focused on writing. And I limited other things in my life to become the writer that I really wanted to be. And that's proven to afford opportunities throughout my life because I really invested in it. And I limited other things. So it was worth it.
And I could see how at different stages of your life, what that is that you limit. So it was photography a long time ago, and as different elements of your life come to more of a forefront, that you might have to limit different things.
Absolutely. That's that part of that continual process of revisiting these 12 habits over and over again as life evolves.
That's a good transition, actually. We've made it to the end of the book, and we did want to point out a few resources at the very back. There are several different appendixes that offer you a few tools for your writing life, including some resources for writing groups. You guys are way ahead in that you already have your writing group established, but there may even be some ideas to help take your writing group to the next level in addition to your individual writing lives.
Yep. And just as a few final words of encouragement, no matter where you're at in your writing life, you can take it to the next level. And together you can do that even more easily because you're doing it in concert. And so we want to assure you that again and again your time will come. We really do believe that. Thanks for sharing this time together and being a part of our writing lives here. And thanks for being a part of On Being a Writer.